Hey, my friends, it's your friend Kevin. I am about to go through my ritual for consecrating some new cards that I'm going to be introducing this week in my daily inspiration videos. I thought I would take you along for the process of it. But let me start by explaining the reason why I choose the kind of cards I use. First and foremost, I need to know that the cards I'm using come from, um, well, a source of integrity, usually good teachers, spiritual leaders, those who really truly are invested in spirituality, invested in the inspiration, the motivation, the love of the divine, the love of others, and wanting to produce tools that have a purpose and that have a meaning. So, the first card I'm going to, or the first cards I'm going to consecrate or open are this new Angel Affirmations deck by Radley Valentine. Now, whatever card deck you choose, whether they are oracle decks, which these are, or whether they are tarot decks, which I don't have here in front of me, but either way, it's a little bit like getting a brand new outfit, new clothing. I don't know how many of you randomly select your clothing, and let's talk about intimate apparel, t-shirts, undershirts, underwear, socks, that kind of thing. Something that is special to you, something that means a lot to you. For me, when I get them, they're brand new. They're out of a package and they have that processing on them. They feel kind of stiff. They don't feel soft. They don't feel like worn in. So I normally put them through a gentle wash cycle. It's a little bit like tools when I'm selecting a new pair of scissors for hairdressing, or a new brush, or a new blow dryer, or a new heat tool. I want to choose a tool that has a good reputation, one that perhaps other educators use, some ones that have been recommended to me. This is how I go about selecting the tools or the clothing or the things that I use. This is the same thing as fine perfume. Um, some people just randomly walk in a store and pick up something that smells good and off they go. That's just not me. That's not my process. So, with that being said, this is the latest deck of cards by Radley Valentine. Now, when they arrive, they come wrapped up in like plastic. You can see the wrapping right there. So I have my handy dandy letter opener. So I'll just go through because they're, difficult to get undone. Um, Sometimes I've even used my teeth, but I don't recommend doing that. So you can see it's kind of tight. They're like vacuum sealed. Um, it's a factory. Now they've gone through various processes. They've been racked and stacked probably by a machine. Now these cards have a nice little flip open, but then as you'll see inside, there's a little prayer or a little saying, which is what I'm talking about, the integrity of these cards. You are worthy, you are divine, your opportunities are limitless. This is right on the inside lid of this card. Now, obviously, they've been wrapped like this. So before we get them out and unwrap them, now I'm going to set my space, create a sacred space for me to do all these. I've also got these two decks by Karen Kay, which I'm going to be unwrapping and going through the same similar process. I won't make you go through that, but this will just show you what I do with every deck of cards I use. So let's start our process. So first of all, I'm going to light a candle. That just starts me off on the process of getting into a sacred space and creating light of the divine. And I've got with me 2 sticks of incense. Now, For incense, you can use essential oils. You could use anything you want to. But I like the smell of incense. And these incense, they're kind of like Nag Champa, but not really Nag Champa. Um, it's like the fragrance of it. Just let them. And then I have my little handy dandy. They call these, I think it's called like a coffin, incense coffin. I like the design of this one. I got it at my local metaphysical store. Plus, I like how the ashes drop down into this thing. Now, we're going to get to using the incense in a minute. Here we go. So closing the lid down, and of course you can see the incense rising up. So we are going to use that in a minute. So next, I have a little prayer of consecration prayer that I came up with to bless them. So we've already taken the plastic off. Now we are going to open them up and take them out. I've got this little paper seal around them. I like that. It just shows that no one else has been in them, no one else has used them. I don't know if anyone else has touched them or not, but that doesn't matter. So now these are double-sided. So on the front side you have messages from either an archangel, divine angel, what have you. And on the other side, there's 2 affirmations. So in essence, you've got 44 cards, but you kind of sort of have 3 pieces of divination on it. You have the actual card itself, which is, this one is message from the love angels. And then on the back side, we've got, I believe in the power of love. And then the other affirmation is, I allow for healing in all my relationships, including the one I have with myself. Just a lovely angel affirmation. The other thing I want to point out with these angel affirmation cards is everything I do and encourage others who are learning divination to do, set a clear intention. Set a clear intention. So the first thing I'm going to do is go through the cards and give them a little shuffle. Put my hands on them. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of bring in the light of the divine by putting my hands upon them and spreading them across my chest, right? Just like this. That's what I do. Across my heart space. Now I'm going to close my eyes down. You can choose how you want to do this. Start my breathing. Take a breath in all the way down to my feet. Then exhale out. And then another breath in from my heart space. Breathe in. Then breathe out. With a third breath, I go into this area, my third eye, the pineal gland. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then I imagine a light from the divine coming from the top of my head all the way down through my eyes, this area, my forehead, and expanding that light down through my throat, into my shoulders, into this heart space. And at my heart space, where these cards are, I've got my hands caressing them. And I imagine that there's a light that is shining bright, going right down the center of my body, expanding at this heart area, including these cards, but then extending down through my belly area, my navel, my seat, my legs, all the way into the earth through, the center of both heels. So I'm anchored to the Mother Earth. And I have light going around these cards, around my body, just infusing them with me. To consecrate them, or to bless them, if you will, I say this prayer. To my Mother of the Earth, beloved Father of the sky, guardians of the four corners, angels and archangels, ancestors and ascended masters, thank you for blessing of love and light and the wonderment of intuitive sight. Thanks for the knowing, the believing, and in all that shines bright. It feels so good to be hugged and blessed by your golden white light. I set the intention to use these cards to bring messages of value, messages of purpose, and messages of meaning. And that these cards and all the readings I do with these cards be of great service to me and to others. Thank you for bringing me crystal clear clarity and easy to understand messages. Messages of enlightenment, messages that will be inspiring and healing, bring joy, bring love, bring happiness, and bring truth and wisdom to all those who seek guidance. So be it, so shall it be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then with that, I imagine this light going through all these cards, flying straight up into the ethers with all the archangels, the spirit guides, the angels, which I now feel round behind me, to the left of me, to the right of me, above me, and they are literally placing their hands upon my shoulders and all behind me with these cards. Okay, that's giving a divine blessing for them. I will do exactly the same for these fairy cards. I actually change the blessing of when I'm dealing with the fairies and the elementals. It's a little bit different. It goes a little bit like this: spirits of nature, spirits of the fae. I call on you and ask that you surround me, surround these cards, surround these oracles, and assist me with the messages I perform with them. I invoke your magic. I can and may you connect with us as one, and one by one enchant these cards, and we are blessed, and it is done. Something to that nature. It needs to be a little sing-songy when you are asking the fairies and the fae to come and bless the cards. Right, so back to the angel cards. I'm fanning them out. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to switch the camera so you can see a little bit more of what I'm doing. Go over here to this. So now you see my my little charred incense. And what I'm doing is I'm just literally putting the incense into these cards as I know they're upside down for me. Go through them one by one. And I can go a little bit quicker. I can do just sort of go through this like this, but just going through all 44 of these cards on the incense, let the incense waft over them. Just infusing them, just giving them my love and my energy, if you will. Everything we do is all energy. Everything we do. So putting my energy on these cards, bringing the incense into the card, just really allows my energy, my vibrational energy, my magic, all of this into those cards. And really, that's kind of it. That's sort of, in a nutshell, that's sort of it. It's all I do. I might sit a bit longer and look at them and read them a little bit more and then just go through and shuffle them. When it comes to unnumbered cards, when it comes to cards like this that just have two sides to them, it's not so difficult to bless them. But when you're dealing with a deck like tarot or oracle deck that is in number sequence, when they're first unwrapped, they go from 0 if you're into tarot all the way up to the last card, which for the ones I use is the King of Pentacles or the King of Cups, which goes through the major arcana, 22 cards, and the rest being the 4 suits and the court cards. Well, you want to shuffle them through, you want to get your energy on them, you want to mix them up enough so that each of your readings are done not, like you have 2 or 3 cards that come together that are numbered, that don't look like they've been sorted. That's what I'm trying to say. So now I've got these cards. I might go through them and I'll put them right side up. So they're not all, because these are sort of perfect squares. So you can see I put these up like this. Some of them are sideways. So I might put them right side up. That's just me. I also will place a crystal. Now, selenite, I've got a little heart on here like this on the top. I can also ask Archangel Michael with this blue lapis and place that on the top. And you see the incense is just wafting through. And I can leave it like that. I don't have to do anything more than that. Period. It's done. Anyway, I'm going to go do the other 2 cards in the same way. I just want to show you what my process was, just in case you're thinking about what do I do when I get my cards. And this is what you do. All right. Big love. Thanks so much. Bye for now. I wanted to add a little footnote to what I was saying. I've just finished consecrating these 2 decks of cards by their fairy cards by Karen Kay. What I want to point out is this. Most cards come with guidebooks. I urge you to read through the guidebook. In these guidebooks, the teachers, the authors, the creators of these decks have an intention. As you read their wisdom, their words, their intention, you're infusing yourself with that same knowledge. It's easy when you first begin to read cards and pull cards to access these guidebooks to give you references for what each of the cards mean. And I think in the beginning, try using them on yourself and someone you know and you trust, just to pull a card of the day, if you will, and then go through each one. Like I just opened the book to the page that the card that says "Come Together," and the top one will say fairies like to be busy, and a group of them is showing you that the many hands make light work. Working with a team helps get the job done. As you go through them, you'll be looking at the reference book. Now, if you are a professional oracle reader or tarot reader or card reader, like I am, at some point, your client is going to, I don't know if they're going to go through your reading of what's in the book. So, as we pull a card, and I'm just going to go randomly from this Manifesting with the Fairies deck, I'm going to pull a card. Now, I've not read with these, I've just consecrated them. I'm going to shuffle, and I set the intention that whatever card I pull, I will use the fairies' magic and my inspiration to get a message. What should I and how should I be manifesting with these cards? So fan them out like I do, and I'm going to pull. This one sticks up. Appreciation. So that card to me says this fairy of appreciation is appreciative of the fact that I've decided to pick this deck up and read from it. It's also encouraging me to appreciate all the folks who will be getting readings with them. It'll also say appreciation is a heartfelt emotion. It's something that we need to do more and more and more of. When we begin to be appreciative of things, when we begin to enjoy things, like things, say thank you for things, more of those gifts come. Now, let me see what the guidebook says about the card of appreciation. The point I'm making is that we should get used to using these cards and letting ourselves go with whatever information comes. So it says in appreciation, let me just show you that I've turned to that page in the book. Notice the blessings in your life. Appreciate the little things and give thanks for them, as doing so will lead to more blessings. The word appreciation says that to me. It's the underlying message, the subliminal message that seems to go with everything, every part of appreciation. Not necessarily intuitive, not necessarily saying I'm feeling fairies and they're telling me that's possible, but in general. And then what Karen K has to say is this flower fairy queen appreciates you. Well, now I didn't know she was a queen. So now I know she's got a little crown on her head of flowers. So she's the queen of the flowers. Let's see. And her greatest wish is that you learn to appreciate yourself and everything in your life. She says that as it is with the similar quality of gratitude, the more appreciation you show, the more you'll have to appreciate. Try to see the beauty and blessings in all things. And she goes on, she talks about manifesting with this fairy. Manifest appreciation into your life by looking at the world with fresh, innocent eyes. And the affirmation you can use, because this has an affirmation with it. I appreciate the little things in my life. And in turn, the little things become bigger things to appreciate. So right there, you have a guidebook, a Bible, whatever you want to call it, that helps you develop a solid, lovely relationship with these cards. All right, thanks so much for listening. Bye for now.